Okay, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to our session again. In last class, which topic we have seen? We have seen how to create EC2 instance, right? Okay, so we can start the next topic today. Again, I'll show you how to create EC2, but before that, you need to know about one thing mainly. First, to recap we're gonna recap the topic which you have seen on last class. Okay, so in last class, we discussed about servers, right? So, what is the meaning of server? It serves the services to the end user. Who is the end user here? We are the end user. So coming to the servers, of course, there are n number of servers, but we are going to talk about majorly two type of servers. On-prem server, second one is virtual server. So on-prem server is nothing but your physical server. Which server? So here we are going to manage each and everything from the scratch level. Second level, the virtual server is going to be hosted on the cloud. So who is going to manage this one? Your cloud provider is going to manage about this server. Guys, in AWS, your server can also be called as EC2 instance. What we're going to call it as? So my question for all of you is, what is the meaning of EC2? Like full form. Elastic Compute Cloud. So for assumption, we are going to compare our server with computer. Why? Because servers are very big computers, which we're going to host on the data centers. Where we are going to host the server, sir? Data centers. To create the server in AWS, how many steps we are going to perform there? 7 steps. What is your step number 1? Tags. Tags means what we can give here? Name. Step number 2. What is the meaning of AMI? Amazon machine image. Next, instance type. In instance type, we are going to give CPU and how much of CPU is minimum required to create server and how much of RAM. Of course, you can use 0.5 also, but the minimum and the best use for practice is 1, each one. So that we are going to get done T2 micro. Where we going to get it done? Next here in step number 4, we are going to see about the key pair. What we are going to see about? Key pair main purpose is to log in, sir. What is the main purpose of key pair? So for login here, we are going to have mainly two types. First of all, public key. Second one is going to be your private key. So public key is going to store by AWS. Who is going to store public key? Second one, private key is going to store by the users. So coming to the step number 5, it is network. So here we are going to add VPC security group. VPC means already we discussed, it is going to be your private network which you can create on your requirement. Security group main purpose is to allow the ports. Why we need to use the port? If I want to access the application, my application is going to run on specific port of the server. That is the reason why we are using the security group. So coming to the step number 6, here we are going to talk about storage. What we are going to talk about? Storage means here we are having the EBS volume. So minimum EBS volume is 8 GB and maximum it is up to. But in real time, we don't use up to terabytes, sir. Okay, so maximum 100, 200 GB is maximum enough actually. So till terabytes also they will offer, but we don't have much requirement for use terabyte. Step number 7 is going to be your summary. So this we have seen both theoretically and practically in the last session. So now theoretically we have covered. So now I'm going to show it practical for you one more time. So if I open my AWS console here and coming to the AWS, so here account creation, I'm going to tell you on tomorrow's session. Don't worry about that one. So now tell me the process. I just share my screen here. So now you tell me the process. First of all, I need to go to search and I need to type here EC2. So if I click on this one, so it is going to migrate to the EC2 page. So now click on. So here already I have 5 servers. Okay. So I'm gonna use it on some like other region. So I'll go to Mumbai here. Okay. Here also we have server. Okay, fine. Let's go to one more region. I'll go to Tokyo and I'll try to create. Click on launch instance. So here I'm going to give the name. So name I'm going to give it as my web server. For example, I'm giving web server. Okay. Instance type, before we are going to select AMI. AMI stand for Amazon Mission Image, which we all know. Here we are going to select N-1. Why? Because for stability. Okay. Next, instance type here already by default T2 micro is going to select. Coming to the key pair, generally we need to create a new key pair. So click on create new key pair. Here my key pair name is going to be Raham Tokyo. The key pair name. Guys, remember key pair name can be anything. There is no specific restriction. You need to give only this name. We cannot give that name. And we cannot use special character. Okay. There are no such kind of restrictions mostly. You can use the plain name, whatever you want. So now here you need to click on create. It will be coming to your downloads folder, right? So keep this apart. I'm going to tell you how to connect with KeyPair in our upcoming session. Next, coming to the network setting, here I need to click on edit. Sir, by default, you are going to have SSH. Remember, what is the meaning of SSH? Means secure shell. What we can call it as? Or there are some other meanings which we can use. It can be also called as secure socket host. The basic meaning is secure shell only, but in some blogs and in some articles, they'll mention SSH is also called as secure socket host. What is the main purpose of using SSH? I'll tell you. Sir, if I want to communicate with my server, definitely I need to use SSH. Without using SSH, we cannot able to communicate with our servers. So remember this point. Which protocol is going to which protocol is going to connect with your server? SH protocol. And what is the port number here? 22. Are you able to see this one? So it is going to be interview question. So the port number for SSH is going to be 22. So now if we click on here, so configuration of storage. So almost it is going to be 8. And one more thing here, I need to give all traffic actually. Type, I'm going to select source. I'm going to put anywhere. Click on launch instance. So like this is the way how you are going to connect with your server. Already we seen on last class. Today also I shown you. Upcoming class also daily we are going to practice on servers only. Okay. So if you try to create this for 1 or 2 times, the creating of server is going to be very, very easy for you. Don't worry about that part. Okay, then fine. So click on launch instance. Sir, if you want to connect with server, in last class already I said you can use browser. But apart from browser, you can also use some terminals to connect to your server. What we can use? Terminal means we can use Mobexterm, we can use Putty, we can use Super Putty, we can use Git Bash, or even though you can use your Windows terminal also. There are n number of terminals which you can able to connect with your server. But among them, the best one is going to be your Mobexterm. But because in Mobexterm, we are going to have a lot of advantages which we cannot see in other terminals. This part I'll take it separately for you. So don't worry as of now. So here, if I click on this checkbox and if I click on connect, are you seeing one more connect option here? So now here you can able to see your server is running on your browser now. Are you seeing establishing connection? Which protocol is going to establish connection, sir? SSH. What it is? So remember, parallelly when I am telling you the classes now, so I'll tell you some of the interview questions which you are going to face on interviews. How many of you bought your notes? Okay, so you can start writing the interview questions. In my class, no need to write the running notes. I'll tell some important interview questions as well as note points. Try to write only those points. So question number 1, what is SSH? What is SSH? So it is used to connect to your server and the port number is going to be 22. Like you can write on your own words. So Swapnil, basically region is nothing but where your data center is going to host actually. Okay. For each region, we are going to have a number of like data centers. So without selecting the region, you cannot able to create the server. By default is always going to be your Northern Virginia. So just write this one. What is SH? Okay. That is going to be your question number 1. Sir, currently if you see here, are you able to see the server on the board here? So basically guys, that is going to be your server. What it is going to be? In real time, every application is going to host on the server only. Without server, I'll tell you one thing. Without server, we cannot able to host the applications. Is the point clear for all of you now? Okay. Fine then. Sir, here if you seems to hear, we are not able to see any kind of GUI. So this server is going to completely have the operating system of Linux. Which operating system? If you give the command uname, this command is going to tell you the operating system. What you are seeing here. So remember, 90% of the people who is going to start DevOps freshly, they'll start without learning the Linux. If you don't know Linux, you cannot able to learn the DevOps. That's for damn sure. Guys, remember, for every DevOps engineer, Linux is the most required skill in real time. I'll tell you what is the importance of Linux. I'll ask you a few questions, try to answer this one. You can come to know like why I am stressing this much of things for Linux. Currently, if you go and see, in a day, all of you are using mobiles, right? Which mobiles you are using? Android, right? Your complete Android is developed by Linux only. Okay. First of all, I am telling the importance and where the Linux is using. So here, where is Linux? Where is Linux? And for the notes, I'll give time. Don't write the notes. Just focus on the board. First of all, where is Linux? Means completely your Android platforms is developed by using the Linux only. That means Android is completely dependent upon Linux. As of today, 86% of smartphones, 86% of smartphones completely rely on Linux operating system only. Which one? Linux operating system. Okay, fine. If you talk about, supercomputers, have you ever heard about supercomputers? Top 500 supercomputers in the world. Top 500 supercomputers. Top 500 supercomputers are completely using the Linux operating system only. Can you imagine without supercomputer, can we survive on this modern world? No, right? And without smartphone, can we survive on modern world? No. Apart from all of these electronic gadgets, your smartwatch, your smart TV, your refrigerator, everything is going to rely mostly on the Linux operating system only. Where it is going to rely? Electronic gadgets. Now, if we compare, sir, in smartphones, you are using the Linux operating system. And in computers also, you are going to use the Linux operating system. Eventually, in electronic gadgets also, you are going to use the Linux operating system. That means Linux is going to be important or not. So tell me one thing, without Linux, can you survive in a single day in this modern world? Why? Because there will be no supercomputers, no mobiles, no smartphones, and nothing. Even electronic gadgets is also completely using the Linux platform only. Which platform? So that is the reason why we need to focus on the Linux first of all. Fine then. So now here I am telling what is Linux now. First of all, I explain you where is Linux. That means where you are using the Linux. Second, here I am explaining what is Linux. So can anyone tell me what is Linux here? Linux is a operating system. That is the blender mistake actually. 99% when I ask this question, everybody will say Linux is the operating system. But the first thing is Linux is not a operating system. Linux is a kernel. What it is? So kernel means it is the lowest level of operating system which we can use. So remember guys, Linux is never going to be an operating system. Linux is a kernel. What it is? But eventually people start calling this Linux as an operating system only. But if you know about the subject very well, none of you are going to call this Linux as operating system. So Linux, it is a kernel. Okay. I'll ask you two questions. Can anyone spell me this one? What is the spelling of that? Like how you going to pronounce that one? Linux. And this one? So remember now, Linux. Okay. Kernel. Now which one is correct? Linux or Linux? Both are correct actually. Both there. You can ask me how. You know the what we call accent, you know, right? Some words, like if you ask Indians, so we will speak some words in some accent. But if you go for like UK and USA, the accent is going to change, right? So depends upon the accent, that word is going to pronounce on Linux and Linux. You can call them as Linux or you can call them as Linux. And second one is going to be, so some people will call it as kernel. They'll pronounce R there, but you can call it as kernel. Which one? Again, the meaning is going to be same. But remember guys, in DevOps, there are a lot of tools actually. Each and every person might call it as different name. For example, there is a tool called Git actually. But when we speak with our foreign clients, they will call it as JIT. What they will call it as? So basically the pronunciation is Git only. But because we are Indians, we will pronounce the word in some certain accent. But foreigners will not pronounce in our accent, right? So they will call it as JIT. We will call it as Git. So don't worry about this pronunciation. It is not going to cost you anything. Okay. So you can call them as Linux or you can call them as Linux. But what is Linux? It's an operating system or is it kernel? Kernel. Kernel means lowest level of operating system. What is the meaning of kernel? You can ask me what is the meaning of lowest level of operating system. It is also an operating system, but will have some less priority. For example, if you watch Bahubali movie, right? How many heroes we have in Bahubali? 2, right? Bahubali and Ballal Deva. So here Bahubali is nothing but operating system. Ballal Deva is called as kernel to understand the sequence. Okay, like that. So Linux is a kernel. Kernel means which is the lowest level of operating system. What is the meaning of kernel? It is lowest level of operating system. Is the first point clear for all of you know? Fine. You said Linux is a kernel, which is nothing but the lowest level of operating system. But we are from non-IT. Some people might be from non-IT here. They won't know the meaning of operating system. What is the exact meaning of operating system? Means, I'll write it here. OS means operating system, guys. What is the meaning of OS? Operating system. And one more thing I'm going to mention very clearly. Guys, to start with the DevOps, first of all, you need to learn the Linux fundamentals. A lot of you people might know about Linux. Okay. So whenever somebody knows about Linux, if I start teaching Linux, they will feel bored. But apart from you, there are some other people who are from zero knowledge here. So based upon the common factor for everyone, we are going to start this course from zero level, right? So everything from basic to advanced, we're gonna teach here. But the only thing is, for initial few days, you need to have some patience to listen. How many of you done AWS course here? So you people already know about EC2 instance, right? But don't worry, again, we need to cover. Why? Because here there are some freshers, right? They don't know about nothing here. So initial few days, whatever the concepts, we will discuss only that one. But after once your DevOps is going to start, you are going to see the new tools actually. So now here, I'm going to tell you about the operating system. What is the meaning of operating system? It acts as a interface or like how? Okay, interface, like which interface it is? Telling it correct only. Okay, I'll tell you. User interface not. You cannot let us user interface. Okay, I'll tell you. Sir, operating system is nothing but a bridge which is going to establish communication between human and computer, which is going to communicate between I'll tell you one thing. So all of you know about computers, right? Tell me which language computer is going to speak. Binary language. That means computer can understand only zeros and ones. If I tell to computer, open the file called ABC, it cannot able to understand. Why? Because I speak Telugu, Hindi, English, but computer will not know Telugu, Hindi, English, right? So in that case, we need some translator, which is going to convert my commands to the computer. So that is what we can call as operating system. Operating system is nothing but it's a bridge between user and computer. Okay, why it's a bridge means to establish the communication for communication purpose. Which purpose? Without operating system, here I'm writing the shortcuts. OS means operating system. Without OS or like OS, we cannot communicate with computers. Is the point clear, guys? At least each of the, for example, if you take, I have 10 computers. How many computers? Each computer must need to have at least one operating system. Each computer must have at least one OS. At least how many OS? You know, in single computer, can we use like we can use multiple OS? You know this one? Have you ever heard about this one? In single computer, we can use multiple operating systems. For example, if we have Windows, you can install Linux here. And even though in Mac OS, we can install Windows. Like if you see some new functionalities of Mac OS, they are going to create a software which can directly able to use the Windows OS also. We can do it. So now tell me, what is the meaning of operating system, sir? It's a bridge between user and computer. Why? Like why means for establishing the communication. Without operating system, can we communicate with computer? If we can't communicate with computer, computer cannot able to work for us, right? Why? Because computer don't know what I am telling, and I don't know what like computer is going to respond for me. And each computer at least going to have how many operating systems, sir? One operating system. Okay, fine then. You said about Linux. Linux is nothing but a kernel, which is going to be the lowest operating system. Fine. You also know about what is the meaning of operating system. Okay, sir, fine here. If we talk about, there are a lot of operating systems, right? Windows is there, and Mac OS is also there. And of course, like this kernel, we are having multiple things. But why we need to use only Linux operating system? I'll tell about the first of all advantages. Why to choose only Linux? Why only Linux? For example, if you buy a new laptop, what is the first thing you are going to do when you buy a laptop? Start. No, no. Like for example, I give you the laptop. What is the first thing you are going to do? To check the processor and RAM. Okay, fine. Are you not going to install any kind of antivirus softwares? So the first thing is, whenever you buy the laptop, definitely we are going to install the antivirus software. Guys, remember Linux doesn't require any kind of antivirus. Why? Because Linux is going to be very, very highly secure and it is bug free. Bug free means I'm not telling there is no bugs actually, there will be some bugs. But when compared to the other operating system, these bugs are going to be minimal actually. So the first feature that comes into the Linux part is it is highly secure. It is highly secure. Why? Because we need not to install antivirus softwares. The point clear for you? Second thing is, sir, it is free and open source. It is free and open source. What is the meaning of open source? Open source means source code is available on publicly. For example, if we talk about this one, Linux operating system source code is completely available on public only. If you want me to show, directly open your Google. Okay. So whichever browser you want to open, you can use any browser. Go to Google and type Linux source code. What I'm typing here, or like Linux code also, anything is fine. Are you seeing the source code here? So the source code is available publicly. That means you can able to see the code, you can able to rewrite the code, you can able to modify the code also. Open source means it is completely open. That means whatever you want to do, you can able to do with the code. It is the factor number two. So factor number two, it is going to be free, and second one, it is going to be open. What is the meaning of open source? Source code is going to available on public for everyone. And third reason is going to be it is going to work very speedily, sir. When you compare Windows, it doesn't matter which version you buy. It doesn't matter what is your process. After 6 months, your computer will hang or not, sir. Right? But Linux is going to hang very, very rarely. Trust me. Like till now, we are using servers, right? Servers will never hang. Of course, if there is some CPU utilization is more and memory utilization is more, then only the server is going to hang. Otherwise, from the performance side, this Linux servers or Linux operating system is never going to hang. So here I can tell it as high performance. What I can tell it as? High performance. And already I said it is bug free. It is bug free. And fifth one is it is going to support for the all kind of programming language. For example, if I want to run Python here, or if I want to run Java, if I want to run .NET, if I want to run Node, it is going to support for the all kind of programming language and softwares. Supports for all programming languages. And last one is going to be, it is multi-user based operating system. That means it doesn't matter how many users are working on this server. For example, I can work on this OS, parallelly you can work, and parallelly other people can able to work on it. So it is what we can call as multi-user based operating system. It is multi-user based OS. So these are the 6 major reasons why we are using Linux. Of course, there are some hell lot of reasons, but we cannot cover all of them, right? So I am telling you the most highly preferred reasons to choose the Linux operating system. Again, one more time. Sir, first of all, where we are using Linux operating system, sir? In smartphones, we are using. In supercomputers, we are using. In electronic gadgets. So what is Linux here? It's a kernel. It is the lowest level of operating system. What do you understand by the meaning of operating system? It's a communication bridge between user and computer. Why? Because computers can speak binary language, whereas humans can speak, like human can speak Telugu, Hindi, English, and like some other languages. So in a computer, if you want to use any computer, at least how many OS you want, sir? One operating system. Sir, we are having other operating systems like Windows and Mac OS, which is going to be highly preferable. But apart from those, why we need to choose on Linux? First of all, it is going to be very highly secure, and we not to install any kind of. So absolutely it is going to be free. And so if you observe this second point, it is first of all, as per Indian psychology, whenever we see something, it is very free. What we are going to do, sir? Without thinking about it, definitely we are going to use it. Correct or not? For example, like you are passing on this road, somebody is freely offering you some like juices. What you will do, sir? You will take it or not? Right? Like, I'm talking about general Indian psychology. Okay, like that. So next one, the performance is going to be very, very high. So it is very going to be the bug free. Like I'm telling that it is not completely bug free, but when you compare with other operating system, it is going to have minimal bugs actually. So next, it is going to support for all kind of programming languages, and it is going to be the multi-user based operating system. Is the concept clear for you till now? Everyone. Online, what about you? Is the concept clear for everyone till now? If it is clear, you can confirm your chat once. I would like to get response from all of you online. Okay, fine. Okay, sir, fine here. So now I'm going to talk about what are the components in the Linux operating system. Of course, Linux is going to have a number of components, but I'm going to talk about the major components. Sir, first component is going to be your kernel. What is going to be your? Sir, already we discussed it's the lowest level of operating system. But in Linux operating system, kernel is going to manage the hardware and software properties of Linux. Simply what we can call it as here, it manages hardware of OS. That means hardware means what? You can call it as CPU. You can call it as hardware as CPU, memory, and so on. Some other factors also going to come here. Now in Linux, which component is going to manage about hardware, sir? Kernel. Second one is going to be your daemon. What is the second one? So daemon generally manages the background services. What is going to manage? For example, background service means whenever, like for example, if you perform some rebooting operation, in background, there are a lot of processes going to running or not, sir? If you open an application, again, in background, there are several processes running inside your computer. So all these will come under the background services. For example, booting, okay, loading some other process in the background. So everything is going to come under the background service only. Next, third component is going to be called as shell. Very, very important component of about to. Sir, shell is nothing but it's an environment. What we can call it as? So now, can anyone tell me what is like not environment? Can anyone tell me what do you know by the meaning of shell actually? Shell. Yeah, someone is telling correct answer only. Input. So shell is a component which is going to take the user input. Based upon the user input, it is going to perform some operation and it is going to show you the output. So simply, shell is going to manage user inputs. What is going to manage, sir? So basically, it's an environment. It is going to manage the user input. If some user give a command, okay? If user give you a command, that is going to perform and give you the output. If user give a program to run, it is going to run the program and gives you the output. If user give a shell script, it is going to perform the shell script and gives you the output. If you remember, in day 2 and day 3 of our demos, I ran one script or not, so Netflix application. That is script only, right? Inside that script, we have commands. Everything performed by shell or not, sir? So these three are going to be the major components of your Linux operating system. Now again, tell me how many major components we are going to have, sir? 3. Component number 1 is going to be kernel. So it is going to manage the hardware. Example, you can call it as CPU, memory, and so on. Second one, daemon. Daemon is going to manage about the example, we can call it as booting process and other process. Okay. Third one, shell. Shell is going to manage user input. User input can be a command, or it can be a program, or it can be a script. Are these 3 components clear for everyone in the class? Everyone? Fine then. Online, what about you? Are these components clear for everyone? Can you please confirm your chat once if you are having any doubts or queries? Yeah. Thank you, Srinikil and Harshita, for your response there. Fine, sir. You said about like why we need to use Linux operating system and what are the components. Now here the major thing is going to come under now, that is called as flavors. What you can call it as? Flavors, or you can call it as distributions. Can anyone tell me a few flavors of Linux operating system? Linux flavors. Oh, okay. Next. Okay. Okay. Guys, remember there are some hundreds of distributions in the Linux operating system, not 1 or 2. Okay. Even new distribution is going to come for every month actually. For example, if you know the programming language, you can write your own modified version of Linux. That is what you can call as distribution. Okay. So to explain this concept of distribution, I'm going to tell you a simple example. Okay. If you talk about iPhone, We have 15, right? iPhone 15. If it comes under the extension, you will see something called as 15 plus. After that, you have 15 Pro. So then you have 15 Pro Max. 15 Pro Max. And what is the thing after comes of Pro Max? Ultra Pro Max. Huh? Ultra Pro Max comes under Samsung, right? Okay. So fine. Like basically these are things. Of course, for if you talk about 12 and 13, we have some mini also. Forgot about that one. So here I would like to convert the distribution topic into the iPhone's concept. Sir, iPhone 15 is a common product, sir. But there will be some difference to iPhone 15 and 15 plus or not. Product is same, but some of the details and some of the features are going to change. Again, from 15 plus to 15 Pro, you will have some difference or not, sir? Again, same iPhone, but you will see some differences. Again, from 15 Pro to 15 Pro Max, same iPhone 15, but the features are going to be vary. Here also in Linux, there will be some n number of distribution. Distribution means it is also called as Linux operating system, but some properties and some features are going to work separately. The most commonly used distribution in Linux for all time is Ubuntu. What it is? Guys, remember almost all 70% of your real-time servers you can see on Ubuntu. Why? Because again, it is free and open source also. Second one is going to be the Red Hat. What it is? Red Hat will have two versions. First of all, enterprise version. Second one, normal free version. Okay. But Ubuntu, we have completely free version of it. Third one is going to be your Amazon Linux. Fourth one is going to be your CentOS. I mean, like 4 minutes here, I can call it as D. And after that, you can see some other flavors like Fedora, OpenSUSE, Linux Mint, Kali Linux, Linux Arc, Debian. There are some hell lot of flavors. Even Rocky Linux, Alma Linux is there. Of course, you can also create your own Linux distribution. You can also create your own distribution. How can you create your own distribution? Already, as we know, Linux is free and open source, right? Can you get the source code? Can you modify the code? That means you can create your own distribution. What you can create? You can ask me, sir, you are saying that it is free and open source. You can modify it, but how to modify? How to modify is, how many of you know about C programming language here? Ever heard about C programming language? If you know C programming language, then you can modify the Linux operating system. Why? Because 98% of Linux is completely written on the C programming language. Which programming language? I'll show it lively for you. If I go to the source code now here, are you seeing the source code, a Linux source code? Scroll down here. What is the percentage of CPUs are here? 98.3. And other languages are there, but it is very negligible or not. Even Python also there, but what is the share of Python here? 0.2 means like very, very, very minute or not, sir. So if you know the C programming language, then you can able to modify the source code. If you modify your own source code, like if you modify the Linux source code, then it is called as distribution, or you can call it as flavor. What we can call it as? So I'll ask you a couple of questions about flavors. What is the most used flavors in Linux? Ubuntu and Red Hat. These are two most used. And if you want to create your own flavor, how can you create? If you know the C programming language, source code is already available on internet. You can get the source code from internet and you can modify the code. Then that is going to become your own distribution. Is the point clear for all of you now? That's it. But again, like in real time, are we going to use all flavor? Means no. Guys, in real time, you won't use all flavors. Okay. Any flavor, it can be Ubuntu or it can be Red Hat or it can be Amazon Linux. Any one flavor is necessary. But it is better to learn both Red Hat and Ubuntu. It is the best choice to learn. So I am marking these two are going to be very, very important. So I can call like Debian is also there. Debian flavor. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about history of Linux. Which one? So basically Linux is written on C programming language, but I'll tell you, so Linux project start on the year 1991. Which one? In 1991 there is a student called Linux Torvalds. Linux Torvalds, he started creating the Linux operating system. Why? Because I'll tell you one thing, he's a student from Finland actually. You know Finland country? So in Finland country there is a university called Helsinki, the university name itself. At that time, Unix is very famous and very popular operating system. But remember, Unix is never free. That means if someone want to use a Unix operating system, there we are going to pay money for it. As a student, Linux Torvalds is not having sufficient funds to buy the Unix operating system. Then he thought to create his own operating system like Unix. Basically, Linux is inspired by Unix only. So then he started working on the Linux project. Exactly after 1 year, in the year 1992, he almost completed the Linux project and give it to the public for free of cost. So it started on the year 1991 by a student called Linux Torvalds. So inspired by Unix, which is paid version. Which version? So in year finally 1992, by using C programming language, he he wrote Linux OS. What he wrote, sir? So after once he done with the Linux operating system, so he gave it for publicly free of cost. And one more thing, initially he thought of giving the name called Freaks actually. What is the name of the name? Initial name? Like he thought to give the Linux operating system name as Freaks, but due to some reasons, he changed the name from Freaks to again Linux. I'll ask you a question now. If you see the history, when the project started, sir? 1990. And when it ended? So who discovered Linux? Linus Torvalds. Inspired by which operating system? Unix. Is Unix free or paid? Paid. So which programming language we use? Now my question is, why C programming only? Why he use only C programming language, sir? What is the main reason behind it? How many of you like BTech from here? BTech graduates. Okay. Then you must know this answer. Like especially how many are from CSC here? Raise your hands like this. Okay. Fine. So you must know about answer this one. Try to think logically. No, not that one. In first year, you have a subject called C programming language, right? At which year C programming language came? At which year C programming language came? First year. I'm not asking about your graduation year, okay? I'm asking about at which year C programming language discovered actually. It's 1972. Which year? At that time, the only high-end language we have is C programming language. If you see here, sir, almost all Linux we start on 1991 only. What my question is, instead of using C programming language, we can opt for Java and Python, right? But at that time, there is no Java and Python, sir. Why? Because Python came on the year 1991 only, almost at the end of 1991. And Java came in the year 1995 actually. So Python is invented by Guido van Rossum and Java is invented by Sun Microsystems in the year 1995. Then if you compare these statistics with the Linux creation, that means at that time, Linux Torvald doesn't know anything about Python and Java. Of course, those two languages are not born yet. That is the reason why he used the C programming languages, major reason to create the Linux operating system. Is the concept clear for you? So basically, it's not a point of your subject actually, but I am making you think like in analytical way. Why only C? Why not any other? Now you tell me, why Linux Torvalds used only C programming language, sir? Why not Java and Python? Because Java and Python is not available at that time. At which year Python comes into the market? 1991 by Guido van Rossum. And in which year Java comes into the market? 1995 by which? Sun Microsystem. Basically, this might use somewhere like it is not a subject point of view for us actually DevOps, but I'm telling for your knowledge. So this is the history. Now coming to the most point here, coming to the modes. Sir, in operating system, there are majorly two modes. That can be Windows, that can be Linux, that can be Mac OS also. Mode number one is going to be GUI. GUI means you can call it as graphical user and the second mode is going to be CLI. CLI means command line interface. Which one? So now I'll tell you one hardest thing actually. Till now you are comfortable with using GUI, right? Guys, in real time, forget about GUI. You will never work on GUI. Your complete work is going to be on CLI mode. Which mode? So in your graduation days, you might done some projects, BTech projects, right? At that time, you definitely use only Windows OS. That too, you won't use only GUI mode. But whenever you go to real-time environment, you will not see GUI mode. Completely need to work on CLI. CLI mode means what? Command line interface. That means completely here, if you want to work on anything, any particular task, we are going to use the commands here. What we are going to use? Commands. Is the point clear for all of you now? That's it. So now here I'm going to teach about some basic commands. But before going for basic commands, first of all, whatever we learned about the Linux in theoretical way, is a theoretical way gave you the clarity about Linux? Is the concept clear for all of you? What about you online? Is the Linux theoretical concept clear for everyone in the class? Can you please confirm me on chat once? If theoretical is clear, then we can go for practical session. Okay. And already we discussed here in this course, we are going to learn DevOps, AWS, and Linux. So Linux, I'll cover some basics here. But for Linux, we'll have the separate batch, which is going to start from 27 November. Okay. That is completely free course for you till administrator level. So for that course, you are not going to pay any kind of amount. So that is completely free of cost for you. Okay, fine. So I'm going to talk about the commands here. But before going for commands, have anyone like know about Linux here? Do anyone know about Linux here? No one knows, huh? Okay, how many of you know about Linux here? Raise your hands once. Like just for my clarity, okay, only one. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna start Linux commands now. So link you can already see here there, like Syed, there is one. But okay, like I'm sending it to everyone in the chat again. You can take it from there. Okay, and one more thing for the online guys. I would like to know one thing. So how many are you attending on the online? So previously you might came to offline, right? But how many of offline students are attending from online today? Can you please raise your hand once? Or you can ping on comments also. If any offline student is attending on online today, like due to some weather issue, you can raise your hand once. Okay, how many? Like one, two, three. Okay, almost all 6 persons. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, sir. So now I'm going to teach you about comments. Guys, remember Linux is going to be new for all of you. So for the first initial days, your class are going to be on a moderate method. That means I'm going to teach everything on some a little bit slowly. Why? Because all of you are going to be new for Linux. If we go for Hari Barina, so it is not going to enter into your brains. So for initial few days, till the Linux class are done, so you need to be have some bit patience. Because some of you online might know about Linux, but for the freshers and the people like who starting from zero level, you doesn't know anything about, right? So let's start the Linux commands here. So the first command I'm going to teach you is here. And like before that one, how many of you joined on Telegram group here? Okay, fine. How many of you haven't joined on Telegram group here? Raise your hands. Okay, guys, please go and contact your admin Rajesh sir, and even online also. So if you contact Rajesh sir, he is going to provide Telegram link for you. So join there. Why? Because any updates regarding this class, everything we are going to post it from Telegram channel only. So I'm gonna connect to my server here now. So just give me a second. Guys, here I'm using Mobextrom actually. You don't need to worry about this connection. This is the connection which I'm going to explain on your upcoming classes. Okay, but for now, just see how I'm executing the commands for you. So basically it's a terminal where we can use it to communicate with our servers here. So I already have the keeper here. So now I'm connected to my server here. So just see like how it is going to work for you. And like offline, this is a Telegram link actually. You can take it or you can take from admin also. No, don't worry about this one. So Anu, for full stack Java students, like you are going to have separate faculty for it. So please contact your admin for it. Yeah, I think in your course you are also going to cover about Docker and Jenkins, right? I hope so. Okay, fine. Sir, all of you are able to see my screen now? Is it clear for everyone? Fine. So the first command I'm going to teach you is, for example, currently we are on which user here? EC2 user. The first point you need to learn is here. By default, user in Linux is EC2 hyphen user. What is the default user, sir? But the main user is going to be root user. It is by default user when you are communicating with server. But once I log into my server, I need to work as root user. Which user? The command to switch from one user to another user is like sudo hyphen I. Sudo hyphen I. So from EC2, I came to root or not, sir? So what is the command to switch from EC2 to root user? Sudo hyphen I. To switch from EC2 to root user. So point number one clear. What is your command number one? Sudo hyphen I. So this command is going to switch from EC2 user to root user. Sir, I want to see the name of my operating system. Currently, what is the name of my operating system there? No, name of my OS. Linux operating system, right? So if I give uname, this command is going to show me the OS name. Which command is going to show you the operating system name, sir? Uname to show OS name. Which name here? OS name. And command number 3, for example, I want to see the kernel information of Linux. Which information I want to see? Same, uname hyphen R. Are you seeing the kernel information here? What is the kernel version here? 5.10. Is the point clear? The command to see the operating system name is uname. But if I want to see the kernel of my Linux, I need to give hyphen R. But sir, if I want to see complete information about my OS, so instead of R, just put A. Uname hyphen A. Uname gave me only OS name. Uname hyphen R gave me kernel information. But if I give uname hyphen A, every information will come. Are you seeing Linux here? Are you seeing the server host name here? Are you seeing kernel here? Everything you are able to see or not. And you can see when the server created and what is the time, everything we are able to see about this one. So uname hyphen R, this command to show kernel information. And if I give uname hyphen A, it is going to show complete info of OS. Okay, fine. Sir, for example, in my server, I want to see the host name of my server. What I want to see? The command is host name only. What is the command? Host name. Am I able to see my host name here? Of course, if you want to change this host name, you can also change this. So this is the command to see the host name. Sir, but I want to see the IP address. But I want to see the IP address. Simply what you can do is write the host name command, put hyphen I. It is going to show the IP address. Are you seeing IP address here? If you give host name will come, sir. But instead of host name, if you want to see the IP address, I want to see only IP address. Which command I can put here? Hyphen I command. Of course, there are some n number of methods. You can use IP ADDR command, IP ADDR command, or you can use IP ADDR show command, or even though you can use the command if config. Which command? These are multiple commands which you are going to use for the IP addresses. First command is going to be hostname hyphen I, command number 1. Command number 2 is going to be IP space ADDR. Command number 3, IP ADDR show. Command number 4 is going to be if config. All these commands are used to show the IP address of server. So you can ask me, sir, where is the IP address here? Means see, my IP address is, first of all, hostname hyphen I command I give 172.31.36.50. Are you able to see it here? Second command, IP ADDR command I give. Are you seeing the same IP address here? Third one, IP ADDR show. Like same output again. Same IP address. Again, if config. Different output, but the IP is going to be same. Guys, here I am going to teach you multiple commands for single action. Why? Because if I teach you only single command for single action, you might forget. So in interview, if you tell 2 answers for single question, definitely they are going to have some good impression on you. For every command on Linux, I'm going to teach you multiple methods. Is the point clear for you now? Fine. So again, what is the command to switch from EC2 to root user, sir? Yeah, please. Sudo hyphen I. What is the command that is going to show the operating system name? Uname. And if I want to see the kernel information, what is the command? Uname hyphen R. What is the command that is going to show complete OS information? Uname hyphen. What is the command that show the host name? Host name only. If I want to see the IP address, tell me the comments. Hostname hyphen I, IP space ADDR, IP ADDR show, and you can give the if config. So guys, it doesn't matter you are a developer or if you are a tester or if you are a DevOps, if you are a cloud engineer. In real time, if you are a software engineer, means everyone need to work on Linux only. Why? Because 99% of companies will majorly prefer the Linux operating system. Why? Because if they want to use Windows, they need to pay money or not, sir? To save the cost, definitely we use the Linux. Even in our company also, what are the companies I have worked, we completely rely on the Linux platform. Which platform? Of course, there are some companies which can work on Windows also, but majority of the companies will choose the Linux only. Fine then. So one more comment, I'm going to tell you the last comment for today. For example, sir, here in my computer, I want to see the complete operating system information name. I already said one comment. Which comment? Uname hyphen. Yeah, there is one more comment. Cat etc OS release. This is also showing or not, sir? So this is also going to be one of the important comment. So this question is going to be asked on interview. But again, don't worry. This comment I'll explain tomorrow also. But for clarity, there is a one more comment called cat etc OS. It is also going to show complete information about the operating system. There is one more comment called cat proc version. Are you seeing the again information here? That means uname hyphen r is efficient. Like uname hyphen a is efficient. But apart from using those commands, you can use cat etc OS release and you can use cat proc version. That means for a single action, you can able to use the multiple commands over it. So these commands also I'm going to give it for you. First command is cat proc version and second command is going to be cat etc OS hyphen to show OS info. So these are the basic commands actually. So today is day one for Linux, right? I'm not going to deep dive into Linux as of now. Why? Because for today we seen the introduction part. Which part? And again in tomorrow's session we are going to learn completely about the Linux operating system commands. So today is day one for Linux. So what we done on today's class is we have seen how to create EC2 instance one more time. We recapped the full session of last class. And today we started with the Linux operating system intro. And later we came to the commands part. These are also basic commands only. But in tomorrow's session, I'm going to teach you about file commands. Which commands? So file commands, definitely you are going to use it on real time. And one more thing. So I'm going to upload this on your Google Classroom. So guys, you can contact your admins. So basically this live notes, what are the stuff I'm providing, right? So this you can access from Google Classroom. Are you seeing the classes here? So basically, if you enroll for this course, right? So you are going to join in a Google Classroom. So in that Google Classroom, we are going to provide these notes. Already I gave the notes for you in Google Classroom. Not only notes, completely in our course, everything we are going to discuss from the PDF point of view only, right? Already I shown you how the PDFs, right? So completely if you go and see, I'll show you. So these are the PDFs which we are going to use on our class actually. For example, if I want to tell about Terraform for you, or if I want to tell about Docker. So whatever the topics which I mentioned on our syllabus, completely you can get the presentations like this. Are you able to see it? So enter again, these documents also have uploaded on your Google Classroom. So your resumes and your like interview questions, everything. So what are the things I mentioned on the syllabus? Everything you already have the Google Classroom. So please contact your admins for the Google Classroom access link. So they will provide you. So that's it for today's session. So now we are going for doubts and queries part. So first of all, online, if you are having any doubts or queries, please raise your hands. I'm going to give unmute option for you. So we can have the one-to-one communication now. So in the meanwhile, offline. So how's the session today? Are you able to get the clarity? Is everything going fine and smooth for all of you? Okay. So now any doubts or any queries from your point of view in today's session or like about this course, what we are going to learn? Online, you can raise your hands if you're having any doubts. I'm going to give unmute option for you. So in the meanwhile, if you are having doubts also offline, you can ask me. And one more thing is like our way of training is going to be, it's very interactive. So that means in your class, what are the topics I'm going to explain? It is for both online and offline. In the middle, if you get any kind of doubt or query, you can ask me directly. And for you, I won't go for the next topic. I'll stay there. I'll explain the concept. If you are clear, then only we are going to see the very next topic for it. So online, any doubts or queries? Can you please raise your hands? So Supriya, okay, I'm gonna give 1 minute option for you, Supriya. You can speak. You can speak, Supriya.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Supriya.
Yeah, okay. This is DevOps Advanced, sir.
Yes, this is the
DevOps.
advanced course of DevOps, Supriya.
Okay, okay,
So in this course, completely we are going to learn 13 tools in up
okay,
to like deep level. So with this
okay,
course, almost all you can get up to 3 years of equivalent knowledge, Supriya.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So what are the stuff we are going to teach here completely up to industry standards? So that too in real time, hands-on way. Thank you. So next, Anuhya, you can speak, Anuhya.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Anuhya.
Just a quick question.
Yeah, please.
So, are you gonna give us any assignments after the classes, or how it
Definitely,
works?
definitely. So as per discussed in our class, like in our course, we are going to have 5 real-time projects. For every week, you are going to have one assignment. Of course, daily task
Okay.
will be given. For example, if it's say a topic, I'm going to tell you, you need to do this kind of stuff for today's task. Based upon that one, weekly, you are going to have at least one assignment. And while doing the assignment, if you are getting any doubts or queries, or even in practice also, we have mentor support for both online and offline guys. So you can start
Okay.
getting your mentor support from morning 8 a.m. to evening 8 p.m. I hope it is clear
Okay.
for Anu here.
Yeah, it is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And one more thing, sorry.
Yeah, please.
So after the assignment, after the submission of assignments, like, are you going to evaluate
Yeah, basically we are
assignment?
going to validate it. For example, if you do an assignment, so our mentor team is going to follow up you. So if you are like, if the everything is correct, it's fine. But if you done any kind of mistake, right, they are going to like correct the mistake for you.
Okay, so we are gonna get the feedback
Yes,
then.
exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Hope
That's
it is clear.
everything.
Thank you. Next, Matkar, you can speak, Matkar.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Matkar.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Actually, I received message that Unix Linux 6 p.m. IST, Imran from 27 November
Okay, okay.
Linux.
Yeah, basically
That
that is the Linux class. Already we said, right? So Linux is completely free of cost for you. So if you want Linux class, you can join there. Of course, here also I'm going to cover some Linux, but
okay,
there you can get the complete admin level course for free of cost.
okay. But that all subject cover in this class also, or that is a
No, no,
separate?
no. So DevOps and AWS, I'm going to teach you completely. Okay. So
Okay,
Linux, I'll teach some basic point which is required for DevOps. But for administrator course, Imran sir is going to take class for you.
and that is totally free.
Yes. And it is completely free of cost.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Next, wait, who's going to speak? So Venkatesh, you can speak, Venkatesh.
Sir,
Anishinti Venkatesh. Yeah, hi.
any important about attended by Linux administration course? Any important? They
Any
need
important?
any basic.
No. See, basically, we are going to teach you advanced Linux only. But for advanced Linux, you have the separate classes. Here also, I'm going to cover Linux. But for advanced admin course, you will need to join some separate class. That is completely free.
Okay, my question is saying and any required about in DevOps and after attended by Linux calls also I'm asking, sir.
No.
No required.
It's completely up to your choice. If you want to attend, here some free time, you can attend. But I'll
Mhm.
suggest to attend. But even like it depends upon your time schedule. If you're able to attend, you can attend like Venkatesh.
Okay, sir. And Git and Jenkins and very any complicated or it's okay for
No,
that?
that is going to be completely easy. Why? Because in my current batch, like I'm gonna. Okay, Matkar, you are on unmute. Okay, fine. So those are going to be very easy tools actually. So that the only thing is Venkatesh, it depends upon how much effort you are going to put on the tools. Don't worry about the tools. I'll take care of it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Venkatesh. Next, finally, Deepak, you can speak, Deepak. Deepak, you can speak. Deepak, are you there? Yes, I know, like whatever you said is correct only, but for full stack students, like you need to join on some separate batch. If you are having any concerns, like please contact your admin. Like he's gonna provide you more details. So next, who want to speak here? Wait, Pradeep, you can speak, Pradeep.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Pradeep.
Yes, I mean, I just want to understand to what extent are you going to teach AWS syllabus and what all topics today you want
So
to cover?
from syllabus point of view, Pradeep, actually we have given the syllabus copy. So in the chat box, you can see some Telegram channel link, right? If you join there, we are going to provide complete syllabus for you. Okay. So DevOps 13 tools we are going to cover, and AWS like we are going to cover 10 topics. So which is required for DevOps majorly. Is it clear for you, Pradeep? Yeah, Terraform also we are going to cover, Pradeep. So starting from Git, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and Nexus, SonarQube, JFrog, even Prometheus, Grafana, Node Export also we are going to cover. Like apart from KOps also, which we are going to have deep diving. Fine. Okay, so Anu, you can speak now. I gave unmute option for you. You can go ahead. And remaining people, if you want to speak, please raise your hands. Okay.
Hi, sir. Good
Yeah, hi, Anu.
afternoon. Actually, I have seen a message in the chat box yesterday. This course is only for DevOps, so not applicable for full stack Java developers. I didn't understand that question because
No, basically, Anu, I'll
DevOps
tell you.
means
Wait.
we need to know. Everyone has to know nowadays. Only developer. Say if it is a small company, they're expecting we need to do Docker and now I am a junior developer, so I have my own zone. But my senior, he is doing everything, cloud side, deployment, everything.
Okay.
If I want to go in senior position, I have to know all the things. And also my previous position, also previous company, also they are expecting everything I have to know. So what
first
is
of all,
wrong
like
if
Anu,
a
you are from
developer knows
Naresh, right? Anu.
yes, 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 yes,
So
sir.
the thing
Thank you.
is, for you people also, we are going to teach DevOps for you. But I am not the faculty for you. So you are going to have some other faculty for the same DevOps course. Okay.
Means I didn't get you, sir. Really. DevOps means it is different for developer.
Different for full stack
side.
students and other students, Anu.
Okay.
If you contact your admin once, like they are going to provide much details about this one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Joseph, we can speak.
Yeah, hi sir.
Hi, Joseph.
Do we need to learn any like software development course like Python or Java?
No required. So basically, if you have any programming language, that is going to be additional for you, but there is no necessity to learn any kind of programming language.
So sir, will you teach the self-scripting part?
Yeah, definitely. We are going to I'm going to teach complete scripting for you. Don't worry about that one. Even for every tool, how you are going to automate entire scripting, I'm going to teach you. Okay.
Then, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so fine. And one more thing. So Nikhil, don't worry. Tomorrow session, I'm going to tell you, show you how to connect to Mobaxtrom. No need to worry about this one as of now. Okay, fine. So I hope the demo is clear for all of you know. So guys, online and offline. One more time, any doubts or any queries from your end? Nothing? Okay then. So in tomorrow also we are going to have the same demo for same time. So I hope I'm going to meet on tomorrow session. Thank you all of you. Have a great day. Bye.